Okay guys, so the purpose of this video is to kind of help run you through downloading R and RStudio and kind of get you started with the type of file format we'll be using for this course. So again, we'll be using R to run all of our statistical analyses and visualize our data. So if you do not have R, you're going to need to download R. It is a free program, and you're going to need to download R and RStudio. If you have downloaded R recently, you're probably okay, but if you downloaded R a little while ago, you should probably update R, and I can walk through those steps as well. So if you don't have R, the first thing you want to do is go to the course information and then downloading R, and there's a bunch of resources and steps that you can follow here. So this PowerPoint kind of walks you through these steps to actually downloading R. And so there's two programs that we're going to need to download. The first one is just called R, and that's what this symbol is representing. This is the foundation, or like the foundation of the statistics package or the program, but we don't actually use R. It's just like kind of the foundation one. RStudio is the one that we're going to use. So whenever you're going to, open up RStudio, this is the symbol you're going to look for. RStudio is a much more user-friendly, kind of more organized coding program. And then we're going to use our Markdown within RStudio, and we'll kind of walk through what that is. So there's this PowerPoint that kind of walks you through the steps of downloading R and RStudio, but I also have these links here that you can follow. So step 1, download R, will actually take you to this link here. And if you have a PC, you're going to click the download R for Windows. If you have a Mac, you're going to click the download R for Mac. I have a PC, so I'm going to click that the link, and then you're going to click install R for the first time. Same process with the Mac, and then you're going to install R, do that whole process with installing that program, and then once it's installed, go back to your beach board, and then you can click on this step 2, download RStudio, follow that link. It should take you to this page, and this is kind of like the download page for RStudio. The cool thing about this is that the website should know or kind of get a feel for what your computer is. So it was like, hey, you have a PC, so how about you download RStudio for Windows? So you just click this button right here. So if you have a Mac, this should say download RStudio for Mac OS. There's also these links down here if that for some reason didn't work. So for Windows, you want to use this link, and then for Mac, you want to use this link. And then you're going to download RStudio. So once you have both of those downloaded, I want you to go back to Beachboard, and you're going to download the Intro to 342L R Markdown. So anything that ends in R Markdown is going to be like your workspace for your statistical analyses and graphing. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So once you open up your 342L R Markdown in RStudio, it's going to look something like this. So you're going to have like these 4 windows, and really we actually only need this one window, and this is your actual file that we're going to have, right? So what you could do is you could create some space by kind of dragging these margins out so you don't have to really see them. And you can make a lot more space here. Okay, so this is RStudio. This program that we're working in is RStudio, and this file format is called an R Markdown. And this is a very user-friendly format of R. So think of it as like a Word document that you can code in. So this white space is kind of like the Word document. You can type anything in here, and you can make notes to yourself and so on. But this is not the area that we run code in. So the area that we actually run statistical analyses and actual code in are called these code chunks. And the code chunks kind of start with this little R symbol and end with these 3 dots. And you can notice that they are actually a different color. They're kind of grayish bluish. So these are the code regions that code will go in. Do not type normal text in these regions. Just type your code. You can type any notes to yourself outside of those regions. So if we want to run any code within those code regions or those code chunks, then these are the steps that you would take. There's a couple different ways you can run lines. So for example, we want to run this line 2 + 2. We want R to calculate 2 + 2. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place our cursor on that line. And then for Max, you're going to hold down Control and then press Enter. And that's for PCs. For PCs, you're going to hold down Control, then press Enter. And then for Macs, you're going to hold down Command and then press Enter. So that's one way to run a line, and you'll notice that the output comes out down here. So 2 + 2 = 4. Awesome. Now the other way you can run a line is you can just click where that line is. So put your cursor on the line that you want to run, and then you can go up to the right-hand side of your window here where it says Run with the right side green arrow, and then click that, and then click Run Selected Lines. So that's another way you can run your lines. So that's kind of a general overview of how Rstudio and R Markdown works. Now, the next thing that I want you to go over is, or I want you guys to make sure you have before we start next class, is that you've installed these certain packages. So think about, so R kind of has its own language, but there's different, it doesn't always have all the tools that we want to use. Like R doesn't always have all the tools we want to use. So think about it this way, in that if we want to, use a certain tool that R doesn't have, we have to go to the store to purchase that toolbox that has that tool, right? And these toolboxes are called packages in R. And so we're going to install or purchase, not purchase, it's all free, but we're going to install 2 different packages or two different toolboxes. One of them is called Tidyverse, and the other one is called RStatics. So what I want you guys to do is to run these lines. So basically you're going to put your cursor on this first line, and if you have a PC, you're going to hold down Control, press Enter, and then if you have a Mac, you're going to hold down Command, press Enter, or use this Run button up here. Now be patient for this part. It's going to take a little bit of time. You'll have like a stop sign that shows up down here that's letting you know it's running this installation process. And then once all the code is in, you'll get something on either the bottom of this code chunk or on the bottom of, or like within your console here, that says all packages are in. And so once you have the all packages are in type of thing for this first one, then you're going to want to run this next installation. So we want to install RStatics. So once you install Tidyverse, then go over here, click your cursor on that line and run that line as well, and just kind of wait until you get that line that says all packages are in. It's kind of a weird process. It almost looks like your computer is going through a virus or undergoing a virus, but it's all normal. So just be patient, wait till you get that line that says all packages are in. Now the cool thing about installing packages is that once we install a package once, we never have to install it again. So this, assuming that this worked for you, this is the only time you will ever have to install those packages. But every time we want to actually use the tools in those packages, we have to get them from our library. So think about, you only have to purchase a toolbox once from the store, right? And you're going to store it in your garage. And every time you want to use one of those tools, you have to go get it from your garage. And think about the garage, R's garage is called the library. So every time we want to use a tool that is within one of these toolboxes, either Tidyverse or RStatics, then you're going to use the codes the library Tidyverse and library RStatics. And I will provide you guys with with R Markdowns for each of your assignments that will have these already within the file format. So you guys won't have to actually remember about, running those lines. You guys will just automatically, once you open up your file, you'll just say, okay, I'm going to go run these lines now, and then you should be good. So once you run both of those lines and everything looks good, then you're good to go for our next class, and that'll be awesome. If there's any issues that you're having, please email me, but make sure you email me with a screenshot so I can see what the error is. And if you get a warning message that says like this package was built under our version, whatever, that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's normal. Okay, so again, please make sure that you have those installed and that you can run those 2 lines at the end. And if you have any issues, email me. But once you're finished, what I want you guys to do is to kind of take a screenshot of like either, an area that has a code chunk in it so that I can see that everything looks correct. And please, please make sure that you have done all the steps in this section, because I don't want to have to spend time helping you guys install things during class. During class, we're going to learn how to use this program. So I don't want to help you guys be helping you guys install R in RStudio. Please don't expect me to take class time to do that. Okay, so that should be it. Please let me know if you have any issues. Include screenshots if you have problems, and that should be it. So make sure, make sure when you add your screenshot to this assignment here, it says insert picture here. So make sure you do that. All right, and I guess the final thing would be is that this is more specific to Mac users. So we're going to be using CSV files, which are basically simplified Excel files. And most of the time, if you've never used a CSV or opened a CSV before in Mac, it will open in a program called Numbers. And we don't want that to happen. So I want you guys to take these steps to make sure you set your default to open CSVs with Excel. And then they're super simple, like really user-friendly steps. Like it's really easy to follow. So just go to this link. This link is also in Beachboard, setting default to open CSVs with Excel. And this has both a walkthrough for Macs and PCs. PCs should be fine, but Macs typically open in Numbers. So make sure you have that all set up. So just make sure you have all of this set up before the next class. And email me if you have any problems.